How much control does Obama have over the modern Democrat?
He's the most influential person in the Democratic Party today. But I would say that his influence wanes as the years go by. He's not as influential now as he was 4 years ago. Times change, new people come in. The thing about him is he's got a fundamental left-wing ideology, but he's a lot more practical than that. He's all about just winning for himself. And, I think about when he ran for president in 2008, he supported a border wall.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's practical politics at that time. He was willing to ditch that right away. I would say as time goes by, his influence will wane, but probably 4 years from now, he'll probably still be the most influential Democrat.
Barack Obama didn't just govern, he performed. With media polish and speechwriter sparkle. His legacy floats like a bubble. Glossy, empty, and ready to burst. The man who promised change now recycles stale lines like political leftovers. But Tucker Carlson steps in with a needle, and what pops out isn't flattering. Small blue diamond.
The amazing thing is that Barack Obama, I was there. I knew about it. He ran against all this.
Yeah, he did.
Right? Iraq was bad war. Afghanistan was good war. He ran a campaign against it. But he ended up throwing into prison the guy who told the truth.
Obama's latest scandal. Feels like déjà vu whispers of Russian ties, smug smirks, and enough contradictions to make a Rubik's Cube rage quit. And who's calling it out? Tucker Carlson, armed with facts, wit, and sarcasm sharper than a scalpel. Small blue diamond clip.
That he's a Netflix producer, along with his hate-addled wife, Michelle. He's producing more racial division. The latest is called Leave the World Behind. It's a fictional thriller about the collapse of technology and what humans would do with no phones or computers. The movie follows a family on vacation at a rental house, and one night they're visited by a father and a daughter who show up seeking shelter. They say their phones no longer work and they need a place to stay. So immediately the white family, because they're evil, that's encoded in their DNA of course, is suspicious of the visitors because they're black. And it goes on and on and on like this. Here's a clip.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
Can't trust white people. They're evil. This is the guy, remember, who became famous at the Democratic Convention in 2004 by telling us there is no white America, there's no black America. It's just one America. But of course, that's not really a profit model in politics, is it? So he's been stoking race hatred ever since. And
once the post-racial icon, Obama now lurks behind the scenes, dropping cryptic quotes while chaos unfolds. But Tucker's not buying the shadow act. He rips back the curtain, not gently, with the precision of a chainsaw. Small blue.
Between 1917 and the election of Barack Obama, 3 Americans were charged with espionage for speaking to the press. Under Barack Obama, 8 people, almost 3 times all previous presidents combined, were charged with espionage for speaking to the press. 3 times.
And none of them was charged with lying.
Not a single one of them.
Because lying is not a crime.
That's right.
Telling the truth is a crime. That's all you need to know. You can't support a system in which telling the truth is a crime.
Let's talk Russian collusion again. While the media obsessed over Trump, Obama's foreign entanglements slipped by unnoticed. Tucker fishes out the bloated hypocrisy hiding beneath the surface, and it stinks of arrogance and denial. Small blue diamond.
Here's the clip notes. Obama colludes with Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer. Sunday morning calls Biden and says, you're done. Kamala's going to 25th Amendment you, and you got to step aside.
And who places the call?
Obama.
Obama does.
So Obama calls the sitting president and tells him, you're done. Then tells Kamala Harris, you're going to be the nominee, but if you don't gain traction, if you're not popular, we're going to take you out. I mean, it's all shocking.
No wild theories needed. Tucker follows the trail. Secret meetings, coincidental foreign trips, and off-the-record chats that magically resurface in pro-Obama headlines. He lays it all out like a holiday roast, stuffed with facts and burned to a crisp. Small blue diamond.
Video of Biden at the debate in 2007 announcing that Barack Obama had an AIDS test.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS.
Remind me.
The funniest video ever. Biden said, well, I think, AIDS is a real problem in the African-American community.
And the community's engaged in denial.
And I think we should all get AIDS tests. I mean, Barack Obama had an AIDS test.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS.
There's a cutaway of Obama being like, I hate you.
It's an important thing.
Biden's like, which is totally good. I think he's negative, but I mean, all men should get an AIDS.
There's no shame in being tested for AIDS.
Obama's still campaigning from his beach house, hovering over Biden's shoulder, playing puppet master while Americans face the consequences. From healthcare failures to government overreach, Tucker dives into the mess like a bloodhound on a mission, exposing how polished speeches led to broken systems. Small blue
It's disgusting.
Yes, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Of course.
Right? Oh, I just drive like a shitty little Toyota. It's like, oh, actually, you're defrauding.
Michelle Obama goes to Princeton for free and has been in the ruling class her whole life, and she's still lecturing you about how she's a victim of racism. Hillary Clinton, exact same thing. Goes to Wellesley, spends her entire life in the ruling class, and she's still whining about how she's discriminated against. Why are they doing that?
Yeah. You ever see pictures of Jimmy Carter's house and Obama's house? We would allow people who call themselves public servants to get to live in this insane...
The media loved him, still does, but Tucker shows up like the truth bomb at their dinner party, shouting over the soft jazz and serving cold facts. He exposes Obama's elitism, his cozy big tech ties, and foreign policy flops dressed up in Netflix glamour and Nobel Peace rhetoric.
I remember Hunter Biden, who was my neighbor for many years, telling me more than once, when Biden was vice president, how much they despised Barack Obama. He despised Barack Obama.
Well, what he did to Joe Biden in 2016 to say, we're going with Hillary Clinton, that in the Biden family, that's as bad as it gets. That's as treacherous as it gets. And then in 2020, he didn't really support him until he had to, when,
While Obama delivered poetic speeches, the nation descended into culture war. Tucker draws the line straight to Obama's passive approval of identity politics. He didn't light the fire, but he sure sold marshmallows outside the gate. And that Russian connection, still there, still shady.
Obama, and I'm sorry to be cynical, but I spent all 8 years of his presidency in the United States watching carefully. Why would he tweet out like it's a great thing that it's going to take days to find out who the new president is? Election workers are heroes. Respect them, thank them. Don't share things before checking your sources. I'm trying not to use the F word on YouTube, but like, how dare you, Barack Obama? You liar! Lecture me about accuracy and then let the process run it.
The Iran Deal, a horror film that won't die, funded by taxpayers. Confusing as ever, and somehow still praised. Tucker tears it apart, showing how Obama built a legacy from press photos and poetic slogans, while real policies crashed harder than dial-up internet in 2025.
Struck me. He was talking about the drone program. He killed 10 times more people with drones than George W. Bush did. And he said, I never realized I would be so good at killing people.
He's a cold human.
What is that? That's sociopathy.
Yeah, well, for sure.
You have to be a sociopath to even think that way.
Yes.
But he surrounded himself with other...
The media, still hypnotized. Obama juggles contradictions in a suit, weaponizes intelligence, and floats past scandals like a magician with a vanishing act. But the only thing that disappeared, accountability. Tucker calls him out. Charisma isn't character, and spin isn't substance.
You say it. I'm not surprised at all. I watched what happened in Rhodesia when it became Zimbabwe in 1980, and something identical happened. There's a lot of killing, and they drove it, to the bottom rank of nations, the poorest country in the world. And following exactly the same script, I always thought that would happen in South Africa. I wanted to be wrong. It wasn't. What really bothers me is that the West has allowed this and cheered it on. Because I live in the West. I live in the United States. So I don't want to think that my leaders are for killing people on the basis of race, but watching how they stood by and applauded, Barack Obama's applauded all this stuff.
Forget the fanfiction. Tucker follows the real collusion breadcrumbs, cocktail parties, influence swaps, and an inner circle of overeducated elitists with podcast dreams. Tucker roasts them all, showing how the Obama team couldn't run a lemonade stand without branding it first. Small blue...
Not allowed to talk about Obama?
Not if you don't follow the narrative. If I had said, listen, I grew up in a biracial household, but I'm a black woman, I would probably still have a job.
But I just think it's, maybe I'm overthinking or perhaps underthinking it, but it does seem very strange. Like, I thought the whole point of the melting pot idea was that we're all people inside, and that the left is certainly not against people of different races getting...
Every time Obama reappears with his smirk and speech cadence, Tucker reminds us. He mastered the look of leadership while outsourcing responsibility. From bloated reforms to performative climate policies, Obama's playbook was optics over outcomes. Tucker doesn't end the roast. He just calls this the intermission. More contradictions are coming.